Oh, damn it.
You gotta wonder though, like, is the tension of his top knot in any way responsible for how often he has to pee? You know, is it like lap band for your bladder? The tighter your top knot, the more frequently you have to empty that little John out.
Yeah, I mean that's probably, is that what you call it? You call it Little John?
Little John.
It pulls everything upward and just makes the bladder tighter. And the pee-pee just comes out the bottom of that sack is how that works.
You see, it really paints the picture of the ways in which our minds go to different corners of the galaxy when people have references. Because I said Little John, and I literally thought of Robin Hood and Men in Tights and Little John. Okay. And you went,
I went windows to the walls, all skeet, motherfucker, all skeet. Going full skeet.
Welcome back. This is episode 2 of the Cynical Nerd. We're fucking back. We're back, boys. I'd like to thank everybody for the warm reception to episode 1. And we're very much looking forward to getting into the shenanigans that are happening this week. Before I start, Scott, did you have another joke about his top knot that you wanted to make? Because I'll gladly pause for it.
Hit me with it.
I just want to take a minute to say thank you to all the schmegs for tuning in. We really appreciate you guys a lot. And I don't think I have any yet, but I could say that you look like the kind of genie that would live in a bottle of talcum powder. That's all I got.
That was listen, Schmegs, you're very much welcome. It was a joke. It's all in good fun. Your dirty peepees are very much welcome here. We're okay with it.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
But I think like I know this. I don't want to get off a tangent here because we're just starting this, but. I think the Schmegs need to have some Schmeg pride. You know what I mean? Like, who's to say that Wolverine was circumcised before his mutant powers took effect?
That's true.
At this point, no matter how many times they cut him, it grows back.
Re-Schmeg, more Schmegs every time.
Yeah. That joke was so good. I feel like you wrote that down just to say it this week.
I definitely didn't. But,
who's to say Wolverine wasn't circumcised?
But we're gonna call that Schmegception.
Okay.
Also, another one, Superman. I don't think they circumcise people on Krypton. I don't think they have any weird draconian religions there that I'm aware of. But maybe
they're born pre-snipped. They're pre-installed with less dick.
If it wasn't taken care of, though, we can clearly do it on Earth because Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor had that little knife scalpel of
But you would need a kryptonite scalpel to cut that Kryptonian cock.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry.
That KC boy.
What was that about? Not going off on tangents. We're fucking back, boys. This feels good. I'm wearing, for those of you who are listening to audio, again, I apologize. I try not to do this. I'm wearing a nod to our Star Wars Squadrons VR streams that happened this week. Me and Swearwolf were there, had a good fucking time. Derek was there in spirit.
Fully.
Yeah, literally in spirit. With me today is Scott. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, man. I'm feeling really excited. I've had a lot of positive comments from people I've known for a long time about the podcast that I'm excited to go for round 2.
Sounds sick. How about you, Derek?
Doing good. I don't have anything cool to say about my t-shirt. It's just a V-neck. It's really terrible. So sorry for anyone who's not watching. That's all it is.
Yeah, you're 2 for 2 on shitty shirts right now.
I know. I just keep doing it. They're comfy. My titties get to breathe. It's very important.
We all can't wear the pancocky.
Yeah, pancocky is fucking clutch, dude. A1.
Yeah,
she can't wait to get it.
I might have to have you take a picture of your t-shirt. I'll find the graphic online. That'll be the image for the actual episode. Pancocky. Derek, the most important question for those who can't see is how deep is the V?
It's not that deep. I'm not really a deep V kind of guy. I don't like when you can see the chest hairs, but that's mainly because I don't have them. So I keep it a nice high and tight V, baby. That's how I do it.
I just don't understand why you're lying to everyone listening. I can literally see your belly button Jennifer Lopez style right now.
Yeah, that is a deep CV right there, bro.
Yeah, you can see my butterfly belly button ring just
James
fucking hanging out the top.
Filling that shit. That's how deep that V is.
My heart skipped a beat because I thought the lead singer of Chiodos joined the podcast for a second. That's how deep your V was. Now you know I'm fucking lying because my heart wouldn't skip a beat for that dickhole. All right, right into the news of the week. And I would just like to say, as the gracious host of this podcast, fuck you, Scott, for making me watch Jim Henson's funeral. Yeah, I did not need to cry those tears. I want them back.
Yeah. No, you needed to, man. It's healthy. I realized after watching it again, like there are two different funerals that took place. One took place in the States, one took place in London.
Yeah.
One is way more exponentially more drab than the second one. The one that took place in the States was the first one. People were really taken aback by it. There was a lot of heartfelt, sentiment from all the people who'd worked with him, had built their entire careers working with him. And you can tell that for our parents' generation, he was to us like what George Lucas is, or what Peter Jackson is.
Yeah, right.
I say probably more Lucas, but someday we're gonna have the same kind of fanfare when George Lucas passed away. We're all gonna be sobbing. People are gonna be there. People who've like Simon Pegg will be there probably. Yeah, in a younger Platt costume, sobbing uncontrollably.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna be sobbing. That's gonna be the hardest part. Seeing Simon Pegg crying is worse than George Lucas dying, really, in a lot of ways.
Yeah. But the question is though, who's gonna outlive who? You know what I mean? Like, is Harrison Ford going to go first? I really doubt it. The guy's walked away from a plane crash. He may be unbreakable.
Yeah.
Oh, your mic's on.
You're gone again.
How about now?
Yeah. Why does that fix it?
I'm going to have to figure it out later. It's going to be that kind of thing where, he walks away from a plane crash, but like he dies from the pit of an olive or something. Is that going to be his death sentence?
He's going to get dysentery, like the first confirmed case of dysentery in Los Angeles in what? 80 years, something like that.
Very nice.
Don't check me on that. I've done no research.
So the one that I watched, and I think it's the same one Derek watched, was with Big Bird performing with the green sign.
Yes.
So I put it on and I'm watching it in the living room because my son's watching his own shit and my wife's on her phone. And she looks up and she's like, "What are you watching?" And I tell her, and I tell her the whole background. And it's like at the point I was at, it was right when it starts to get sad. And there's a moment I watched almost the entire thing through. I skipped a lot of the like pastor stuff because I knew, typical funeral fanfare. Funeral fanfare. That's good alliteration.
that may be the name of this episode.
It's pretty good.
Right off the gate, bro.
Funeral fanfare with the pancocky image. Wonderful combo. So it was right when it started to get sad. So Frank Oz, I think, started talking, and he didn't cry, but the guy after him started laying shit down.
Frank Oz breaks down at the very last sentence. He's like that's what I realized, that he loved me and I loved him. And you're just like, oh my god, oh fuck, oh my god,
right? And then it perpetually got sadder from there. It was like a tumbleweed of sadness going downhill. Like the next guy after him choked up. One of them, literally, like the last thing he said, I don't even know his name. I'm sorry, I'm butchering this, but he like couldn't even say it. He like walked away from the microphone, and then Big Bird comes strutting the fuck out, the saddest looking creature I've ever seen in my life, holding his head down low. Literally, his voice is trembling as he finishes the fucking song at the end. And I look back at my wife and she's crying. She's like, "Why are we watching this?"
Yeah, I had almost the exact same experience. Like, first of all, I'm going to ask the two of you, and of course the listeners, just while I'm talking about this, just throw a Google image search for Kermit touches Jim Henson poster. That'll get it. The one you'll see it. It's all right. I don't have to go any further. You'll see it. Anyway,
you might get some Rule 34 results with that too, though. Be careful.
Yeah.
I had Ron because I had it coming through my speakers, and we get to the part with Big Bird singing "It Ain't Easy to Be Green."
Oh, dude!
And she's like, "What the fuck are you watching?" and the relation between the Kermit touching the Jim Henson poster picture and Big Bird singing "It Ain't Easy to Be Green," the thing they have in common is I have every fucking reason in the world to laugh at those things, but they made me cry for some fucking reason. It was so beautiful. It was so it was just the worst thing. It was really intense.
Even just talking about it, I know we're all we're all laughing to suppress tears right now. I feel like I'm laughing nervously because I don't want to cry on camera. That's it. Yeah. I don't give a fuck, but dude, it broke me down in a way where the first time I watched it, I was never expecting it. And it's like that movie, I Melt With You. You know what I mean? You see it, and it's like the tape from The Ring. Like once you see it, you have to show somebody else because somebody else needs to know how fucked up and beautiful this is. and right? It's I can't recommend it enough, but you got to be in the right mood for it, man. It can ruin your whole fucking week if you're having a bad week already. But also, if you're having a terrible time right now, which a lot of people are with everything going on right now, it's kind of it's a testament to what you can do if you put positive energy out into the world, I think. Because all Jim Henson wanted to do was make people laugh. He was a frustrating guy to work with, apparently, but he was a beautiful dude who brought so much happiness to me as a child, my mother as a child. The Muppets had been so well established by the time Star Wars came out that after the success of A New Hope, Mark Hamill was on the Muppet Show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he was a special guest. They did a whole Star Wars themed episode. Like it was such a large, iconic part of pop culture. And to see somebody like that, like honored in that way, no matter what kind of person you are, man, whether you give a fuck about the Muppets or not, it does something to you. On like a real, like visceral level. You gotta move that boy up.
Motherfucker. How about good? Yeah. Okay, fine.
Just start every sentence like that, though.
Oh yeah. We'll just move it right here. I'm just shouting to your ears the whole time.
Yeah, dude.
It's fine.
What really got me when I was watching it was realizing, as my son's sitting next to me, I'm like 80% of the shit you're into came from that motherfucker right there. So I'm watching it and I'm already, welling up with tears because I'm an emotional man and I don't give a shit if you know that. And I'm like, oh shit, like my
positive masculinity.
But exactly. Positive masculinity. Pause mask. And like 80% of the shit that he's literally playing with his fucking Sesame Street toys, and it was cool. And then so getting to the actual ceremony, because I'm gonna make you step back through it because this is all your fault. There,
bring it on, man. I'm ready.
Towards the end, there's two things that stood out. One of which was his family reading notes he wrote them like 4 years before his death or something like that, which is really touching. And obviously he doesn't read the whole thing verbatim because it's personal, but they read some excerpts from it. And then there's the medley at the end with all the voice actors, which was wonderful.
Just exceptional. It was really incredible.
Incredible.
Like really fucking wonderful. The whole thing was great.
I think
I mean,
I ended up skimming it a bit, not because it was boring, but because it was making me really sad. And it's very interesting that it starts out the same way that any bad acid trip starts out, with people poorly harmonized singing, and the only thing that you're certain of is that someone nearby is dead. And then like I skip forward, and the way people are talking about, their puppets, like I had the bird in my hand and his eyes were looking at me as another was looking, and it was very surreal. It just reminded me of the weird, very, very short fest scene that I was in like 10 years ago. It was pretty surreal.
It was a pretty good time, and it was also pretty fucking sad. So I hate you for it. Moving right along.
Yeah.
I put this piece of news in here, and it might. I'm just astonished it's even happening. Maybe you knew this, Scott. So there's a Scream 5 happening, and not only is Scream 5 filming, but fucking Nev Campbell and David Arquette and all the major players. Was it Courtney Cox? Are fucking coming back. I had no clue. You knew this was happening?
I knew. I didn't know that they had started like principal for.
It starts with an F, yeah.
yeah.
You're starting it well enough. That's for sure.
I didn't know that they had started like actually filming it though. It's the crazy thing to me. It's the first one that will not be helmed by Wes Craven. So I'm kind of on the fence about it, to be honest with you. All the Screams have worked very well, both as slasher films in a genre that was kind of tired and just beaten down and done to death, because they also parodied all the ones that came before that they directly took inspiration from.
Right.
Wes Craven's one of those rare directors where almost everything he makes, even if it's absolute horseshit, it's at least entertaining. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And you can make the argument that not every Scream was as strong as the first one, and that would be a very easy argument to make. But they all found ways to play on the tropes of the genre, and in ways, like playing off of the rules of a sequel versus a trilogy where it all has to come full circle. It was a little hacky, writing wise. But they're fun. They're fun movies, man. It's good. It's hard to gauge how it's going to be without Wes Craven, especially considering that I think 4 was one of the most poorly received of all of them so far. But again, like 4 was very topical, kind of like took shots at like where culture is right now. It had a lot to say about culture, about everyone's always posting everything.
Right.
So of course a killer is more concerned with clout than with revenge. It's just about attention, and that's. You got to wonder what direction they're gonna take with Scream 5. What do they have left to say? More so, like, is it gonna have that same punch that the other ones had, where even if they're very campy and kind of tongue in cheek, is there gonna be more depth to it, or is it just gonna become, another Conjuring type bullshit where it's just a reiteration every 3 to 4 years?
Yeah, I mean, who's really to say here? But I guess we'll see when the movie comes out. So the actual thrust of the article is that this movie that I didn't know was actually being made. Had 3 people test positive for COVID-19. They're just like, fuck it, we're gonna film anyway. Whatever.
Well, they're doing things now where they have people who are not who are not on screen, If you're not a director, if you're not one of the stars of the film, you are kind of working with they're calling, I think, pods.
Yeah.
Where there's no actual interaction or contact between the stars and the people who work on the set, unless they absolutely have to have that.
Right.
Which is great because I'm sure Courtney Cox doesn't give a fuck about the key grip or the best boy. So it just saves her the trouble of having to pretend to remember everybody's name. You know? So yeah, it's great.
I've never there's really nothing in the world that I could care about less than Scream 5, to be honest. I'm where you are, Chris. It's like Scream 5. I was like, was there a Scream 4? I remember them releasing like 2 or 3, but I didn't know we were at that point yet. But anyway, the article that you had linked had said that there were, what Scott was just saying about separating people who've had contact with this person and that person. I think that we're seeing more and more in the movie industry that they're ripping the fucking Band-Aid off.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's bullshit. I think it's like, I don't think they're doing contact tracing whatsoever. I think they're just like saying that so they can keep filming their fucking $1 billion movie or whatever.
They might well be,
yeah. Yeah. And it's I get why, because there's the joke that like Sonic is going to be the only movie that wins any of the Academy Awards this year because it's the only fucking movie that released because it came out right before Corona happened. Not that it makes it excusable, but that's my thoughts on it.
I mean, I'd give them all the awards just for fixing that horrible CGI. I've never seen it, and I'll still give them all the fucking awards. The next piece of news, and even being a Batman fan, I don't know how much of a shit I give, is that David S. Goyer is writing an all-new podcast series called Batman Unburied. That's literally the only piece of news about this. They don't have a release date. They haven't announced the cast. I don't like it because I don't like Goyer. I don't like Goyer's writing. I think he's a garbage pail kid in real life. He's animated with fucking strings. I don't know where this joke's going, but I'm just gonna keep the train wreck rolling.
He's a marionette stuffed full of shit, maybe like a shit pinata.
That's pretty good. I like that.
Yeah. There you go. I don't know what the fuck that means, but it sounds like it means something real mean.
Yeah, it feels like he nailed it though.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Have you guys ever seen Milo and Otis when you were a kid?
Yes.
Okay, that when I hear podcasts where it's basically like an audiobook, just call it a fucking audiobook. It's not a podcast. It's gonna if I'm gonna try to break it down this way. I've been listening to Stephen King's It on audiobook, and it's one dude doing like 50 voices. And it's hard not to imagine Dudley Moore in Milo and Otis doing the voice of the chicken and the cow and the dog and the cat. And it's just fucking ridiculous. I get they want to add layers that like have like, atmosphere layered in with the actual dialogue. But unless they're hiring multiple voice actors, don't call it a fucking, it's an audiobook.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with you there. As someone who listens to audiobooks and to narrative podcasts, like there's some point where it just gets a little corny. I know that with audiobooks, they're trying to make it more immersive by getting like multiple voice actors and like famous actors as the voice actors and put, thunder and lightning and rain in the background and like music. And at some point, it's kind of like, all right, that's really cool. And I appreciate the effort you're putting into it. But at some point, it's like, just make a movie. Like it's not, I'm listening to something. There's a certain like expectation that I have of it. And as long as you meet that expectation, I'm okay. You don't need to go all the way up here.
Right.
I don't know. It's just superfluous.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just to bring everything back around, the feeling I'll probably have after having listened to this is the same feeling I'll get if I were to hit said shit pinata, which is that I'll feel dirty and in need of a shower. So the next topic on the list is Sam Jackson is probably coming back. It looks like there's some leaked promo art for a Nick Fury series on Disney Plus. I have, fuck it, we'll do it now. I have larger thoughts about them making everything on Disney Plus. So here's the thing. It feels like they're straying a lot away from putting all the necessary info in the movies. Maybe that's not what's going to happen. Who knows? Maybe it's all going to actually be supplemental, but giving people like Fury a series and then WandaVision is coming out, we know. And then dealing with the fact that there's probably going to be major ramifications for the Doctor Strange movie in that, which is, I don't want to retread that because we did that last week, but it just feels like they're going to be supplementing things so heavily that, you're going to need to have seen all this stuff. And I don't know how I feel about that. Like Star Wars, whether or not you like the new franchise or the new set of movies, all the external shit that I really like is not necessary to enjoy those films. It might make you enjoy them more, but it's not like required reading. And I don't know how I feel about Disney throwing everybody their own television show, but whatever. I also have, after you guys give your thoughts, I have some theories that I'm going to throw out there. But how do you feel about this, Scott?
I mean, at a certain point, when does it become homework? You know what I mean? Like how much is too much?
Right.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I know Derek feels that way about like literally half of the MCU movies as a whole.
Yeah, you only need to watch 3 and you're good. Just there's only 3.
Like I get it. I get it. I could have done without Captain Marvel too, guys. I didn't give a shit about anything. I didn't need to know how Sam Jackson lost his eye, especially considering that's how he fucking lost it. That was the weakest shit ever.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's you know it's that Disney fanfare that we touched on last week again. Like Han Solo. I don't even know how he got the last name Solo. It's just a last name.
Yeah, just the worst thing.
I don't give a fuck where the dice came from. Show me the Kessel Run. I'm here for that. Woody Harrelson, sign me the fuck up. Darth Maul at the very end, little teaser. I'm on board. But it's that thing where like Disney they've started building this incredible universe that I'm a big fan of. Like most of it, I'll agree. There's parts that don't work, but when you're dipping into series, you're gonna have like 8 announced series now, like 8 total, I think, including She-Hulk. What is it? WandaVision. The
Loki series.
Yeah.
You know, Winter Soldier, and this is so much shit, man. And it's like, I don't want to have to watch 10 episodes of each of these. If I don't particularly enjoy one character story arc, I don't want to have to know that. You know, I don't have to know everything that happened, read a synopsis to jump on board with whatever phase 4 is. And to me, it just seems like it's just they're reaching a point where it's going to be blatant oversaturation. There'll be no left about it.
Yeah, I mean, I actually wasn't sure everyone was going to agree with me, but I'm glad that you all did. Derek, do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, no, I think what they're doing with all these TV shows is they're like basically throwing shit and seeing what sticks. And I don't know, that's not really like, I can't appreciate that. I do feel like at some point it starts to feel like homework. There were a lot of even the films that I saw that, you know, the first half of them, like I said, I was into it at that point. And by the second half, I was just like, fuck, it's the same movie again and again and again. But certain movies, like Spider-Man, it is Far From Home, the second one. I just watched like 2 months ago. And the only reason I watched it is I was like, I need to watch the final one, the one I haven't seen yet. And that's how the last like 7 of them that I've watched have been like. And I feel like, how can a TV show about a, you know, second tier character be equal to, especially not more than, even those movies that were kind of like, ugh, I guess I have to watch this. I think they're just trying to like test out a formula. Yeah.
So now we know why we have Derek here, because Scott and I will be a little down on it, and then Derek just twists the knife after it.
Yeah. And it's, I mean, I don't know, man. Like from what I've heard, they have unique, interesting concepts for a lot of these things. Like with Winter Soldier, there's going to be, you know, we saw that
is there a Winter Soldier TV show? Is that why you?
Yeah, Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just the worst idea I've ever heard in my entire life.
That one. All right. First of all, you shut your fucking mouth. All right.
Let's take 2 characters that suck and make a show that really sucks about the both of them.
There's arcs there to explore though. That we've talked about. Me and Chris have talked about off stream, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like there's a lot that's going to be played into that. I think there is a story to tell there with Loki. If it's the version of Loki we saw who, you know, grabbed the Tesseract and vanished at the kind of like the midpoint of Endgame, there's an interesting story. WandaVision, we're all kind of in agreement. There's something to tell there.
Right.
With Nick Fury, how do you stop it from becoming like the Marvel Universe equivalent of NCIS or, you know what I mean?
God,
like,
I know.
Like,
yeah.
Just that week, like that, like we talked about it. Like it's what was that show we shat all over last week?
Oh, Hellstrom or something?
How do we know it's not going to become another one of those where it's just like...
Oh, I hope it does.
I mean, I hope not.
That's what I think the direction... That's what I think is going to happen, essentially. And it's not that, like, just to be clear, you know, I'm not shitting on it just because it's MCU, because I was surprised by the fact that WandaVision, that trailer, hooked me in. I was like, holy shit. But I think, like, they're taking fucking second and third tier characters and just trying to make money off of them. And they're going to do anything they can to like put them in front of your fucking eyeballs and force you to watch them. And most of it, I think, is going to be shit. I think it's going to be dog shit. I hope I'm wrong, but I think that's what's happening here.
Yeah. And I mean, so before we move on, so I said I had a theory. So kind of going off of, we know a couple things, right? From the end of Captain Marvel, we know that Nick Fury has been up on a spaceship, which is probably the headquarters for the Sword Department, which is the counterpart. Counterpoint. Okay, that's a real word. Counterpoint to S.H.I.E.L.D. So S.H.I.E.L.D., for those of you who don't know, S.H.I.E.L.D. is basically the defenders of Earth. and then Sword is the intergalactic counterpart. So it looks like they're setting that up for some role in the new phase of the MCU. And the theory goes that if you look at the WandaVision trailer, it looks like the people that are kind of surrounding the outside of whatever, I don't know, like bubble she's created or whatever reality shit is going on. Like Monica Rambeau, the adult Monica Rambeau we talked about. And also apparently the Darcy from Thor that we were all like, what the fuck is she doing there? Work for Sword.
Oh, shit.
So we will, and that would make sense because the young girl, Monica Rambeau, knows all this space shit exists because she was there as a kid when she met Captain Marvel, et cetera, et cetera. And it looks like that might play a bigger part. So the Nick Fury show will probably dive into that stuff. That being said, although I like that idea, I just, again, I can't bring myself to, I'm not going to watch that show. I can tell you I will not watch that show now confidently, and I will use the internet as my companion and watch a recap because that's.
I think there's one way that it works for me, at least personally, like a Nick Fury. If it's got that Guardians of the Galaxy style, big space adventure kind of thing going on, you know, if it's grand scale, focusing on like, you know, the galactic MCU, not so much small personal stories on Earth.
Yeah.
If he's fronting up Sword, that also leads to the possibility that maybe Wanda is trapped in a bubble by Sword. That maybe they contained her because she was such a dangerous threat. You know what I mean? Like much in the same way that like Professor X suppressed Dark Phoenix. It could be something along those lines. That's like a narrative that's been beaten to death again and again, from X-Men movies to the Umbrella Academy. Fuck you, Umbrella Academy. And it's just, you know, I mean, they could possibly find a way to make it fresh. But again, even with that, like it's still a stretch. It's not going to feel like we're beating a dead horse with a second dead horse.
Wonderful analogy, and we'll cap it off with that. Two real quick pieces of news. One is that No Time to Die, the new James Bond film, is shifting release dates. I don't know if any of you guys give a shit about it. I personally very much enjoy Daniel Craig's James Bond. I think those movies have been pretty enjoyable so far.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Okay, good. Also, same page. Good shit. We're 2 for 2.
Rami Malek is going to be a badass Bond villain.
Fuck yeah, he looks awesome in that trailer that was out. So they're moving this from a November release to a 2021 release. It looks like April, so they're just skipping a whole fucking season.
Jesus Christ.
And that's, I mean,
just bite the fucking bullet and release your goddamn movies already. Are we really waiting a full year for half of these releases? Like Black Widow. I didn't give a shit about Black Widow last May. Now I gotta wait till this May to not give a shit about Black Widow. Fucking release your shit, dude.
Listen, they're pushing it into next year so they don't lose at the Academy Awards to Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, that's a fucking powerhouse film. It's high art. It's just top shelf film.
I mean, Ben Schwartz did give an Academy Award winning performance in that movie.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't. God,
what are you talking about? You're the one hyping up the movie, and now you're shitting on Ben Schwartz.
No, I'm not. I'm saying it's the only fucking movie.
Did something happen to you where you're unable to detect sarcasm right now? What the fuck was that?
Okay, all right. Fair play then. Did you really think that was my movie? I didn't like.
Did you really think that was my stance? Jesus fucking Christ!
I did.
Beep. Sarcasm has malfunctioned.
So God damn, dude.
little tidbit of news. I actually shoved this in here.
Sorry, buddy.
To also bring up the fact that I heard rumors that I fucking forget the name of the company. The company that owns the Regal Cinema chain. I think it's Cineplex or something like that. Was mulling over the idea of actually closing locations down for a little bit of time because there's almost nothing to show and no one's showing up. So, you know, you're going to keep those lights on and paying those bills. I mean, I don't know. Honestly, I just, like Scott was saying, I think they need to rethink their fucking strategy here and just give us the movies, because if people want to watch them, they'll watch them, much like people paid to watch that god-awful Mulan remake.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, Eddie Murphy.
You can price it in the most absurd way that you could possibly surmise. And, you know, like people want to have that movie going experience, so they'll pay it.
Yeah.
But to try to, I mean, I don't know, at this point, like we're kind of ready to go to the movies as long as there's some kind of like social distancing aspect involved with it. But I get that a lot of people aren't. So, you know, streaming software is out there. I mean, it can be done.
There's one thing that AMC has been doing. I am an AMC A-list subs member, not to brag or anything, guys.
Sounded like a pretty big brag.
I pay $20 a month to see 3 movies a week if I want to. It's you know, baller status over here.
It's nice.
But it's actually a great fucking deal for those of you who have not checked it out. If you're not afraid of death, now's the time to join. It's real cheap. But
that's their slogan. That's pretty crazy.
But they're doing all these incredible things where they're re-releasing classics. Like sometime this week I'm gonna go see the 40th anniversary? Yeah, 40th anniversary or something along those lines of Empire Strikes Back on the big screen again.
That's awesome.
E.T., Jaws, like all these Jurassic Park, they're all playing 5 minutes from my house that I can go see them. And when I go, I'm the only person there, and it's great. It's fucking great.
That is
really
great.
Well, I mean, there's one other person there, and he always sits directly in front of me, but it's just us. It's just us.
Or behind,
Yeah.
You hear some weird fapping noise.
Just coughing on the back of my neck. Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, it's not coughing.
I missed that. Oh, whoa.
So
not that kind of theater, pal. You got to do that outside in the car.
Now that we've covered in great detail the downfall of the theater chains, there's a little bit of an internet backlash to something that they have done with the remaster of the PS4 Spider-Man for PS5.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna basically go ahead and I feel like I've been more cynical today than I usually am, but I don't give a shit that they're using a new face model for the guy.
It looks great.
Spider-Man. He looks fine. I don't know why people even care. Like, who gives a shit? People were complaining the face model looks too young. Again, who cares? It's a fucking video game about made up characters. Why does anybody give a shit?
We touched on this earlier, though, when we talked about the Sonic redesign. People are mad with power now. They're like, well, we told them to change Sonic, and they listened. So, like, what else can we get away with? Like, shut the fuck up. It looks great. It looks fine.
Yeah, Sonic redesign was obviously a good move, but you're absolutely 100% correct.
You don't want your hedgehogs with
idea.
Teeth? I mean, that's all I really want in life is a hedgehog with teeth.
I'm still pissed at Jim Carrey had a pompadour for half that fucking movie. I want him bald and fat from the start. I want bald, fat Jim Carrey from the first frame to the last frame, and that's all I want.
Fair.
Yeah.
I mean, who could ask for more?
I don't get it. Like,
he's still going to win Academy Award for best antagonist.
Yeah, because he's the only one. Again,
he's the only antagonist this whole year. So
this joke is never not going to be funny.
No, but it's just like people are pissed because his chin isn't as pronounced as it was before. Like his features are softer. Shut the fuck up and play the game. It's $20 extra when you buy the Miles Morales game. What? Like they're trying. Yeah. Shut the fuck up. They're trying something different. You would bitch if it was the same exact fucking model. You'd bitch if it looked too similar. And now you're bitching because it looks too different. Just shut the fuck up.
That's true. So the official line for anyone who gives a shit is that the new actor they chose to represent Peter Parker is closer to visual looks of the voice actor Yuri Lowenthal, who voices Peter Parker in the game. Again,
great.
Don't give a shit. Cool.
Yeah, looks good.
Man, we're three for three on fucking agreeing.
Like if Doc Ock has a metal cock that comes out as well, we can all raise hell. You know what I mean?
No, I'm here for that. I'd appreciate that. Yeah.
Doc Ock cock?
Doc Ock cock, baby.
It's more Rule 34. Boys. You guys keep bringing it back up.
Doc, it's the Pancocky shirt.
We want to create a weird sub-community of people that like animate the things that we say in horrifying ways. That's the idea. That's the goal.
Yeah, that's this podcast is just a launch pad for us to get our hentai
just to get our ropes out, dude.
Get them ropes.
I mean, what did you guys really think what did you really think the whole point of this was?
What do you think I'm doing beneath this camera?
Oh, that's a terrible graphic. So the last two pieces of news that was going to lead us into our main topics for today. We got the official title for Borat 2. We got a little bit of news about the release window. So the title, if you remember, the first movie was not actually just called Borat. It had a long fuck off title. This one, following in tradition, is going to be Borat, gift of pornographic monkey to Vice Premier Mikhail Pence to make benefit recently diminished nation of Kazakhstan.
I'm sorry. Can we get Derek to read that in his voice actor voice?
Oh, true. Do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you please?
Wait, I need to hear this. All right.
When you send me that, like a tale of a meme of beans and teeth, like that voice right there. It's so good.
Borat, gift of pornographic monkey to Vice Premier Mikhail Pence to make benefit recently diminished nation of Kazakhstan.
One more time. I'm almost there.
Yeah. Slow it down.
Borat.
No, I'm good. Too much.
Okay.
Lost it. So
taking back that movie theater, man. That guy's breathing down my neck again all over again.
That's me. I'm that guy.
What's that smacking sound?
Why does it sound like someone has wet pancakes behind me? Pancake, you got it. So along with the title treatment, they also announced that, hey, the movie's fucking done and it's going to come out before the election. It looks like it's going to be here sometime third week of October is what they're guessing, but they haven't announced anything official on Amazon Prime, which I am looking forward to. And
oh, really? On Prime?
Yeah.
And
so we don't have to
just
get it.
I'm gonna pay any money to
Yeah.
get it for fucking free. Well, on top of however fucking much you pay Amazon each year.
A lot of it.
And
yeah, it's a lot.
It's like 120 now. I just give them my money. I
feel like Amazon for a second was thinking about sponsoring us, and as soon as you're like, yeah, it's a lot of money, they're like, fuck these guys. Actually,
well, I mean, since we're not getting that Amazon sponsorship now, can we all talk about how much of our money that we spend every year on our Amazon Prime subscriptions goes to buy Jeff Bezos, erectile dysfunction medicine? Maybe.
I mean, that would make me happy.
Big old pumps for that chode.
Yeah. There's worse things to spend money on for sure. He deserves to sling ropes as much as the rest of us do.
That's not the direction I thought you were going to go with your spot. He deserves to sling ropes like Spider-Man.
Oh,
so the trailer, which is our first major topic for discussion, I thought was pretty great. And we talked about Borat before, and I think Scott and I, as soon as we saw or heard, I should say, or read about the topics that were going to be covered in the film, I was basically on board right away. But I have to admit, I had a little bit of hesitation when this trailer started to play, and I was like, is this movie going to be the kind of thing where the joke has been killed, like we talked about, in public so much that I'm going to watch the movie and go, ugh. And there was, I think the trailer worked for me for the most part. There was one particular part that I'm going to have to do the old wait and see on, which was the fact that he's got not only a daughter, but he's trying to present her to what looks like the president. I watched the trailer twice and once today, and upon rewatching it, I noticed he's dyeing her hair blonde, probably to make her look similar to Trump's daughters.
Yeah.
And that made me laugh harder, but I'm still a little skeptical about it. How'd you feel, Scott?
As a movie, I'm on the fence. As an act of political espionage, it's brilliant. Sacha Baron Cohen, we talked about this before. Everything he does, there's a purpose to it. He's not somebody who's just out there making dick and fart jokes for the sake of making dick and fart jokes.
But I would still watch them if you were.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, we all saw that Brother is Good, whatever the fuck it was. Where they're inside the elephant and they get coomed on.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was hard.
What? Wait, what?
Yeah, the Brothers Grimsby, I think it was. Something like that.
Yeah.
Gonna have to fucking YouTube that one after this. Holy shit.
Yeah, you need to. But I think, I don't know. I think he's releasing it before the election for a reason. I think he probably dug up some really bad shit on some people. And I think it's more about like what his show on Showtime was. I think it was Showtime, or was it Stars? But he would go undercover.
Oh yeah,
and he would fuck with people. I think he's kind of evolved from more than just like this character actor. Like now he's way more political. He's kind of trying to make a difference in the only way he knows how. I think,
right?
And it's by again like highlighting the absurdities and the racism and the hate in our country by kind of being this guy who's naive to it all and doesn't understand what he's doing and saying. And I mean, hopefully it'll be something that resonates. It'll be something that maybe will change some hearts and minds if they need to be changed. And that's all I can really say about it.
How about you, Derek?
Yeah, no, I think Scoot said it. It's like it's coming out in a rush. It's not really a rush, but it's coming out like in a hurry at for a reason. The election is coming up. Like coronavirus is still happening. And sorry. Sorry. Fuck, I just got derailed. Sorry.
It's coming out for a reason.
Anyway.
Coronavirus is happening.
It's coming out for a reason. The idea is like a lot of these issues are happening now. It's the same thing with the South Park special, which I watched the other night, which I don't know if you guys have seen it yet, if we're going to like dedicate a segment to it, but I feel like it's sort of put out. They want their message to get out there while it's still relevant. And so I'm happy for that. I'm happy to hear it's coming out in not even 3 weeks. But hopefully it's better than the South Park episode.
Your mic again, buddy.
Who, me?
Your mic again.
I was trying to do it subtly. I saw I actually watching my levels. Keep going.
Okay. Yeah, South Park episode was not good.
It was really not good.
I didn't watch it, so I was gonna let you guys talk if you wanted to. No,
just don't
skip it. Okay.
No. I mean, just don't watch it. Like,
you should watch it. You should watch it. There's like a few good gags. There's parts of it that are funny, but the overall is just not.
I mean, the bat bit. The bat bit was
a bat bit.
Well, I mean, the whole Mickey Mouse thing was. I mean, but aside from that,
there's a pangolin bit.
And it's a pangolin, but do you know what a pangolin is?
No, what?
You probably have to Google that shit. Dude, Google a pangolin right now. I want to see what your face looks like when you see one.
Pangolin?
Yeah,
do you know how you
spell
spell that?
It's like PENGOLIN.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm just looking to see what the animal looks like.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Cool. They look like a fucking Pokemon in real life.
Would you fuck it?
No, that's a hard no.
Okay.
He looks.
Right.
He looks a lot. He looks a bit too scaly for me.
Okay. All right. Well,
which I would hope is the only time I've ever said that in my life. Okay, so we're again all kind of on the same page. This is weirding me out.
we gotta find something to argue about, guys.
This is
going way too smoothly.
I think I know what we're gonna argue about.
very, very good, very good. So the movie's coming out pretty soon. We don't have an exact release date. I'm also looking forward to it. Like you said, I think Scott, you described it pretty perfectly, which is that his kind of shtick is going undercover and sort of getting these people to admit things that they would not normally say under normal circumstances, but it's because of how naively he portrays himself that he gets them to, I guess, sort of spill the beans on some unsavory shit. So, before we change topics, there was a news story like months ago about someone running into a big rally dressed up as Trump, holding a woman over his shoulder, and no one knew who it was. There was nothing else about it. And now it turns out now it turns out that was him. Immediately after the trailer dropped, all these news outlets started dropping stories like, oh shit, that was him in costume. So that's really neat. And I hope there's a ton of shit like that in the movie. The trailer was funny. I mean, him trying to like smack, like actually hit COVID-19 off the wall.
Oh, yeah.
I thought was going to be a dumb gag, but there's the one, it's just the way, it's a testament to his delivery, comedic timing. The guy's like, if you see the virus, spray it with this. He goes, oh, so that makes it sleepy. And then I can kill it. And, it made me fucking laugh. So we have, next up is our boys episode 7 conversation. I thought we were all going to agree on this, and now I'm not sure because Derek's got this smug look on his face like, get ready for this. So I'm going to go last, unlike last time, and I'm going to let Derek go first this time.
I wasn't crazy about this episode.
Okay.
I wasn't about the last episode either. I feel like as a continuation from my criticism of the last episode with Sean Ashmore's their need for him to be like connected with, I thought that was kind of weird.
Oh, sorry. Hang on. Put a pin in it. Heavy spoilers. I'm not going to say that every time because that's all this podcast is, but just a heads up. Super fucking
fair play.
Like giant dump after Taco Bell spoilers. So
yeah, big time spoilers.
Been a long time since I had one of those.
One day you'll be back to the promised land.
You miss it.
Takes me back.
I thought that his like continuation in episode 7 was even worse, and it like almost supported what we were saying about the last episode.
Yeah,
how it was very like extra, like it like his need to connect with Frenchie was not needed, and now in this episode they make you think that they need him by they're storming fucking Vought Tower, and he's like, oh. Either they still have me in their system or we're going to be swarmed by 20 guys with AKs. And it was like, thank God I'm still in their system. Like, what? Why? Like, realistically, why would he be?
I mean, yeah.
And then they get up there, they build him up. They have a good, not A-list, but maybe like B-list actor. And they just kill him for no reason. Hard B. Yeah, hard B.
I would say probably a C+, B- maybe.
I was going to say low B, but yeah.
But honestly, like, no, go ahead, Scott.
Can we pour one out for Sean Ashmore though? Because Jesus Christ, man, this guy can't get a recurring gig to save his fucking life.
Yeah.
Like I was so excited. I'm like, this guy got fucked over because he was an Animorphs. It was a terrible show.
Watch your mouth.
He was an Animorphs?
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I read all those books.
Well, no, the Animorphs books were pretty dope.
Yeah.
It was a good story, but it didn't translate well to Nickelodeon television. Like,
no,
those were like young adult books. And they had to like,
are you
they had cousins?
Are you trying to tell me that Nickelodeon didn't have the proper CGI budget to give to a television show back in the early 2000s, Scott? Is that what you're saying?
I know it's hard to believe, Chris, but that's what I'm saying.
Well, fuck me.
No, but it's like to me, it felt like they wasted him. They had this incredible actor. They could have done more with it, and it's just like it infuriated me that we didn't just see him get shot in the head the second they got outside. If you were gonna do that, like it seemed like they wanted to subvert expectations. They wanted to have you think one thing and then switch it up on you. And to me, like, I was infuriated by the waste of the character, by him. Like, first of all, I have some serious issues with him being able to burn himself to death. He's a soup that manipulates fire, but he has no fire resistance. The same with that guy in the last episode when they were in the soup detention center who spit up acid. You tell me this guy doesn't destroy his own esophagus vomiting up acid, but if it lands back on his face, he's done so.
Hey, at least they're being consistent, though.
Fuck you. Yeah, that's inconsistent, though. It doesn't make any fucking sense. They're being inconsistent in their inconsistency. Or they're being consistent in their inconsistencies.
Yeah. And I also thought it was like, I feel like there was nothing on the show that has happened that was less believable than Huey infiltrating Vought fucking Tower. Honestly, seriously. I don't know. That was too much. And I'm tired of these fucking moments between him and Starlight. Like, these, like, everything's quiet and they just smirk at each other a little bit. Like, just understand, like, come on, we get it. Like, they're in love. Like, just come on. Like,
you already fucked. Can you stop acting like you're in high school now?
Yeah,
like you already fucked. You pulled the pin on it. Just throw the grenade.
Just go get naked. Let her dim the lights again with her superpowers, smirk, and get it over with. I mean, like,
yeah, dude. You come in her belly button, you roll over, go to sleep. That's how it goes.
I do have to say though, I was infuriated by the waste of Sean Ashmore's character Lamplighter, but then immediately delighted by the bit where they cut his fucking hand off instantly. I was like, I forgive you for that one thing. It's okay.
So, unsurprisingly, I am the more optimistic one. For the most part, and I do still have a gripe in one of them you already picked up on, but for the most part, enjoyed this episode. What I was looking out for was if they fixed the shit that I didn't like from the last one that you guys also brought to my fucking attention, which was the poorly written dialogue choices between certain characters. And I didn't think those were here so much. Like there wasn't any like super cringy, like, we all love Huey dialogue moments, but I did have the logic.
I mean, we do, though.
I did have the logic problems. So the fact that working in IT, like the fact that Lamplighter was still in their system when we see how stringent Vought is with everything else, I was like, get the fuck out of here. That's bullshit. Yeah. Besides that, there was one other part that I don't think you guys did mention, which was when, spoiler alert, Starlight has a fight with Black Noir. No, actually, sorry, it's before that. When Lamplighter actually dies and the fire alarm starts going off, Huey's in that room alone by himself for what feels like 10 fucking minutes, and no one shows up to fucking see why the alarms are going off.
Yeah, I'm like, it's the chair room. It's like it's where they have their whole
justice room. It's
the headquarters of the headquarters. Yeah,
and I'm sitting here like, I'm like, what? Move! Let's fucking go! Like, what are you doing, dickhead? Although the arm cutting off was kind of a redemptive moment because that shit was fantastic.
Yeah. But like also. What did Lamplighter, like, what did he think they were going to give a shit? Like, they took your statue down, so you're going to burn yourself to death in the room to, like, show them? They're going to mop you up and just go about their fucking business. They don't give a shit.
I didn't necessarily. See, that's the other thing about his arc. Like, yes, the way in which they killed him off, I thought was stupid. But as a character, I actually got just the vibe of, not that he wanted anybody to care where he killed himself, just that he didn't care enough about anything anymore he just wanted to die. I mean, then again, he did pick that room, so maybe I'm reading that a little wrong.
No, I think he wanted to die in the last place that he felt like he was making some kind of difference. Like none of that I had any kind of issue with whatsoever. It's just like the timing of it. And like after, again, like Huey and him break into the most fucking densely secure place in the fucking country. That's what made it goofy to me. The fact that my microphone is just fucking with me right now. All kinds of technical difficulties tonight.
Episode 2, technical difficulties.
Yeah. The fact that, he did that wasn't what I had an issue with, but just how it happened was, I don't know, kind of goofy.
Yeah, I can agree with that. But so besides those kind of grievances, though, me personally, I mean, I thought the episode actually did quite a good job of reminding you of all the various plot threads that are out there, and moving them forward a little bit. The only part of those plot threads I didn't give a single shit about was Starlight and her mom, because that whole side story I don't really care about. I actually made a list of shit to bring up, and I would like to call Scott's oh shit moments. So let's see if I can. Let me pull them up. So
can we trademark that?
Scott's oh shit moments, TM. So wow, the fucking intro, that was an ode to the incel. The entire intro of the show.
Yes. That was Fat Neil from Community.
It was.
I don't know if you guys know that. Fun fact, that was Fat Neil.
It was Fat Neil. the whole thing. I mean, the way it plays off of modern day politics, like demonizing immigrants and doing the super terrorist shit, and then literally this montage scene of this guy slowly being, essentially brainwashed by the propaganda he's seeing day in and day out. You see the little nods when he wakes up in bed. Behind him, he's got the poster on his wall of Stormfront and other superheroes. So he's into that shit. And just watching, like, they do really smart stuff in that montage of watching, like, him walk past somebody who just ignores him day after day. And it did. I thought the intro was, again, they nailed another intro for me. They've been doing that nonstop. It's
especially topical considering the people who were killed by that the young kid, Kyle something. It's kind of almost a mirror. I know it's meant to be like a mirror of modern day politics, but it's literally verbatim what happened maybe like a month ago. Mm-hmm. And to me, it's insane. And you get the sense that this guy wants to be somebody. He's nobody values him in his everyday life. He feels like he doesn't matter. He doesn't exist, and he thinks to himself, "I can make a difference. I can be somebody, and everyone who thinks the way I think will appreciate me." Yeah, and it's that indoctrination, that brainwashing that we're talking about, and it was incralmost. I thought that was the best opener they've had so far in the entire series, I think, as far as,
because he very much like goes out of his way to make his point, which is almost, it should deconstruct his point, but to the people who agree with it, it doesn't for some reason.
Right. It, I thought the intro was fucking great. I have another note here, but I actually rereading it don't know where it went to, but it's a cool line. Black Noir with the fucking headshots. I don't remember what happened right after the intro, but apparently it was Black Noir. Thoughts and prayers captured me a lot in the same vein as the intro. When Stormfront and Homelander are having this kind of rally, they're like thoughts and prayers. And I went, ooh, man, you fucking got it. That, to me, that was on the same level of having the Homelander on the side of the barn in the South with the Confederate flag, just being like topical as fuck with the show and really kind of like hammering it home. Then this was one of the topics I wanted to bring up, which was Homelander, taking Stormfront to see his son. Which I thought was one, I almost had forgotten about that plot thread of his son because they haven't been around for like 2 episodes.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because they're weekly, that's 3 weeks ago we saw him last time. But when they landed, I went, oh, fuck, I didn't even think that this is where they could take that storyline. And that whole scene was A, heartbreaking for the mom, and B, really hard to watch. Like, just watching Stormfront, like these people, it's not even a situation where in real life you might feel overpowered because it's 2-1 and you feel unsafe with these people, but they're actually unkillable as far as we know, superheroes who are in the Stormfront's like, no, it's fine. And I'm like, oh shit, what do you do about that? You know what I mean? Like,
no, I think so too. I mean, like, there was a moment, we've talked in the past about how Homelander is a great antagonist because he's believable, and in a very distant way, he's relatable. And so the moment where, they're talking about taking him, and I think her name is Rebecca, right? Rebecca takes her outside.
I think it's Rebecca.
Takes him outside, rather. And says like, oh, I understand that I'm lying. I understand I'm doing this wrong, but I need him to have a normal life. And he kind of goes like nods in this solemn agreement. You go like, oh, wow.
I thought they might actually leave.
Yeah, same. That's the point, though. It's like you he's a piece of shit. But you think, oh, maybe he's making an exception for his kid's mom. And then like 20 minutes later, it's like, oh, no, he didn't. He's leaving with the kid. Again, I love Homelander as an antagonist because he always keeps you guessing. Yeah. And in the moment that he like kind of like nodded, I figured he was going to, do her way of things. And then obviously he didn't.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I mean, literally, it was heartbreaking. Like I said, to start off the description of the segment, but like, like literally watching her son come out and being like, you lied to me. Like, they just showed me all the shit that you're hiding from me. And then to like leave with Homelander and to, it's one thing to echo in real life. Like, that's what I think the show does such a good job at, is going, well, this is what it might look like if there was a world with superheroes and one of them was a piece of shit with an estranged son and he was a dickhead stepdad, or not stepdad, a dickhead father, and decided to like fill his son's head with like shit against his mother. But now the dickhead father has superpowers that could, melt you if he wanted to. So she's extra powerless.
Yeah. I also think it's worth noting that, my voice got real deep there.
You sound hoarse. You sound sexy.
Derek, was that you?
Yeah. Queen Maeve comes in and saves Starlight at the last minute there, but does not leave with her.
I thought that was interesting.
Maeve's whole arc this episode, I think, was really interesting because you watch her have everything that matters to her, the one thing that matters to her in her life taken away from her, and it's by no fault of her own, really. Aside, I mean, we can make an argument that it was, but she basically is being held captive by Homelander in the same way that everyone else around him is all the time. Everyone's so afraid of him. Even his handlers won't dare challenge him. The only one who will challenge him is the CEO of Vought, whose name escapes me at the moment.
Stan Edgar, I think, maybe?
Stan Edgar?
Yeah, something
sounds
Edgar.
familiar.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah. But you see in the last episode we saw the footage get found of the plane crash that Homelander left everyone to die on for, and Maeve left everyone to die on.
That was good, yeah.
And now we see the repercussions of that, where like Maeve is losing what very well may be the love of her life.
Yep.
And that's all she has. She's been mounting this plan to blackmail Homelander and distance herself and get away from the Seven, get away and just start a new life somewhere. And now that's all gone.
Right.
So what does she have left? And like, how's her character gonna deal with that in that transition? And we're seeing her kind of already having those like fuck you Vought moments where she's going full rogue, but she's not willing to like break off and go with the boys. You know what I mean? She's kind of doing her own thing. Right. And kind of following her own moral compass, which I think is going to be really interesting to see play out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I kind of feel like her having her girlfriend leave because of the shit she saw Maeve do on camera was kind of the last straw for her. And she's like, you know what? I'm not going to just stand by and let this piece of shit do whatever he wants. Like, I might be one of the only people who can try to stand up to him. So, but she's like you said, she's not going full boys. She's going to do it from the inside. She's going to try and sabotage him. Yeah. In a way that she can and be useful. I also wrote down Maeve vaping. Oh, Jesus Christ. Because I know lots of people vape.
Wait, did you write down Maeve vaping? Oh, Jesus Christ.
I put a dot in between. Like you probably, you can't see it that well. It's not focusing. It's right in the middle.
No, but yeah, I believe you though. I believe you wrote that down.
Look, I understand why a lot of people switch to vaping and over cigarettes. And if either of you vape, I'm sorry. Every time I watch someone do it, in my brain, I'm like, oh, douche. Oh,
I don't think she was vaping. I don't think she was vaping nicotine. I think she was getting high in bed.
Big old high.
Yeah, she was ripping donks, son. She was.
That's a fair use.
She was slonking doinks, dude.
Fair use policy. No, she's not slopping doinks.
No, but she was kind of just trying to numb herself, and she had that moment with Ashley, where she's like, "Can't you just be a fucking human being for 1 minute?" That scene was great,
and Ashley turned it off.
Yeah. It was. I thought that was one of the best scenes I've seen with Maeve, and definitely the best scene I've seen with Ashley thus far in the series.
That was pretty great. Really cool. Because
I think it's pretty obvious that Maeve is trying to like retake control, which Homelander is trying to take from her. Which is why she jumped in and shoved the fucking almond joy down Black Noir's throat, which, by the way, isn't it hilarious? This dude who's like has been unstoppable this entire time just has like this simple allergy that like everybody knows a fucking 5-year-old idiot that has that allergy.
Fantastic.
I thought that was a good
5-year-old idiot, like he has control over it. You have a nut allergy? Fucking idiot.
Fucking dumbass.
Do you think in Stormfront's new world order, all the week with nut allergies will be weeded out? Is that going to be part of the grand scheme?
Yes, with actually nut product.
I'm going to eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich on a plane without getting a gun held to my head sometime before I die.
Everyone in Stormfront's New America is forced to eat one peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and if you die, you are not.
Yeah, we're weeding out the week.
If you die, you're out of the pool.
Yeah.
Win-win.
Oh God. Do we get confirmation? Is Black Noir dead? Did that kill him? Because she kicked the EpiPen away. We didn't see him get back up. We have seen nothing of him since then.
I doubt he's dead. Maybe, but I doubt it.
I hope he's at least hospitalized, comatose. I think that'd be really fucking funny.
Yeah.
If he's like in the bed in full costume still, because they never show his fucking face.
I actually also on my list I wrote "fuck yes, Maeve" with the almond joy in all caps. I was literally sitting here with my phone watching it. I'm like, oh fuck yeah. I also wrote a line. We were talking earlier about Lamplighter and his bullshit exit from the series, but there's the part right after, perfectly on brand for Huey, where he lights himself on fire and Huey kneels down and he goes, fuck you, man. Like he just takes it's like so mad at him for killing himself. Like Huey's like, what the fuck? And I agree with him. And my last note here is popping like grapes, because that fucking the end of that show splatting heads, bro.
Yeah.
Pulling those ships off like ticks.
I get why they did it, obviously. But I think we established in that scene that it's probably not Stormfront doing it, right? Because
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
I think potentially maybe the religion that has brought in A-Train and the Deep. I can't remember the name of their
collective.
bullshit.
I think.
Yeah, they're Scientology.
It's basically Scientology.
Yeah, they're Scientologists. Let's be real.
I think the leader of that cult. Well, we're gonna call it a cult. It's not a church. Leader of that cult.
Yeah.
I think there's a deal that he worked out where he's going to get the Deep back into the Seven and possibly A-Train. Part of that might have been that he would protect Vought from any potential leaks.
Right. Could be.
And I think the leader of the cult may be the guy who's crushing heads like he's on Kids in the Hall.
I was going to say either the leader of the cult or they have a soup indoctrinated in the cult that can do that. Because the only other time we've seen that happen was the senator, I think, or the CIA liaison earlier in the show. When the heads pop. So there's absolutely, I agree. I wasn't necessarily thinking the collective, but it makes perfect sense now that you mention it, that it would be someone from that side specifically saying like, hey, Deep, A-Train, we're going to get you guys back in the Seven. I just got to do something for him real quick. To make it happen. But I saw someone share the sentiment of, is this the boys' version of the Red Wedding? And my immediate visceral response was, oh, that's great. And then I was like, well, no, because like no major characters died. It was a great. I
don't give a shit about any of those people. Like,
they're not stabbing pregnant women in the stomach with a knife on camera who we cared about. You know what I mean? Like,
it carried no emotional weight, but it was incredible to watch.
I thought that it nailed the urgency of the situation, though. Still,
right?
Like. Yeah. And like I said, I have a lot of bad things to say about the past 2 episodes, but that one scene was like, oh, fuck, someone's out there who can fucking explode people's heads like at a whim.
Right.
And so even though, it wasn't the Red Wedding in that like major characters are dying.
Right.
It was still like, holy fuck, is a major character about to die? So it still kind of hit it for me.
It also kind of confirmed. So when the first head pop happened, like that might have been episode 1, right? Episode 1, episode 2 was very early. When that happened, excuse me, you're not sure if it's like someone has like a chip in their brain that gets blown up or if it's like a superhero doing it. And now I'm pretty sure that it's a superhero because
I think it's a soup.
I mean, I doubt all these people have fucking chips in their heads ready to.
Why would a former CEO have an implant in 20 years later? You know what I mean?
And I mean,
there were some fucking Z tears in that crowd, so there's no reason they would have any kind of chip implanted.
Right. I mean, can you just put yourself in the shoes of someone in that room, though? Like, how horrifying would it be to see heads popping around you and not know if you're next?
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, it was very Cronenberg-esque, and I was all about it.
Yeah. All right. Final thoughts on the episode, or are we good to move?
I'm good.
Good. I absolutely must take a piss right now, though.
Oh,
I have to.
Boy,
I have to do it.
I'm going to need you to go to the doctor, my friend.
Yeah, probably.
We'll discuss your options while you're away.
Yeah. I know we still got a few things left to cover.
Oh, absolutely. So we're going to we still have to, just for the listeners out there, we have the Cyberpunk 2077 worker rights thing, which is ordering additional workdays, and then the Jamie Foxx Electro. What the fuck is going on with that conversation? And I have theories. Obviously, I'm sure we're all probably same page. But what's really important here is, should he go see a proctologist or?
I think that's just the butt. That's just the butt.
A urologist, then. It would have to be.
He needs to see a urologist. But also, I don't know, man.
It's either
some people just have smaller bladders. You know what I mean? Like some people got big dicks, some people got little dicks.
You're right, but as we get older, as men, I mean, he might be looking at an enlarged prostate.
Oh man. Let's not have that conversation while he's not here. He's going to listen to this back because, again, confirm we are the kind of piece of shit that listen to our own podcast to make sure it doesn't suck.
Oh, true.
He's going to listen back and be like, these motherfuckers, they're wishing that Ricky Bobby evil on me.
Could be a UTI. He could have a urinary tract infection. That'll also cause frequent PP. I'm not sure which way to go, but all I can say is that that shipment can't come soon enough.
Yeah. He can never know. We'll never know.
What was the grand total on that?
I didn't get that one yet. That one still has a day left to go on it.
Okay.
But I'm watching 13 currently. 13. any of them that I can get for less than $40 after shipping and handling, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
You're gonna buy multiple?
No, I mean no. But I'm going to buy whichever one.
Oh, okay.
The viewers, you guys, sorry, the viewers, but mostly the listeners have no idea what I'm talking about yet. But you will.
You will, and it's going to be a callback to episode 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just had this mental image in my head of him surrounded by them, like everywhere, like some kind of fucked up collection.
I mean, if you want to go halves on, we can buy like 3 of them.
I might get a couple. I might pick up a few of them.
Oh, here he comes.
I'm definitely all about that life. About that chamber.
Wait, what?
That's what you said.
I can't help myself. Get ready,
later.
boys.
Oh man, get ready for it.
And that's what I think about that. Welcome back, buddy.
Hey, good to be back.
Hey.
We have 2 more topics to discuss. The next one up on the docket is going to be Cyberpunk 2077 publisher is ordering 6-day work weeks ahead of the launch of Cyberpunk. That would be CD Projekt Red. So I have thoughts on this, and I'm sure you all do as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to let one of you guys go first. Scott,
Do you mind if I take this?
Yeah, absolutely. Take the wheels.
Yeah, now we saw a huge backlash for Naughty Dog around the time The Last of Us 2 was dropping, when they had the mandatory crunch time. There was even leaked gameplay footage and cutscenes from a disgruntled employee over their working conditions and the way people were treated, the unfair wages.
Right.
With Cyberpunk 2077, I don't think it's anywhere in the same ballpark. CD Projekt employees, there's a 10% of the company's annual profit that's allotted to bonuses. So these people are crunching, but they stand to make like tens of thousands of dollars for their crunch time. In some cases, hundreds of thousands of dollars, depending on the position, what they're doing. I mean, they only have 1,079 employees as of the end of June, and with the company, with their total market value about to go up to estimated to go up to 520 million.
Woo.
Some of their employees could become millionaires after the launch of this game, as their stocks rise. You know what I mean? So
That'd be badass, yeah.
it's not the same. It's the same scenario we had with Naughty Dog. I understand why people are against it. I don't feel that it should be mandatory. But I mean, if someone told me I was going to be a millionaire, or have an extra $200,000 in my pocket for working 6-7 days a week for like a month, 2 months up until release, fuck yeah, that's a house. That's a Tesla, bro.
That's a Tesla, bro.
You can put your shitty kid through college. He wants to go to art school. Send him. Fuck him. Get him out of the house.
CD Projekt Red should use a clip of you saying, "That's a Tesla, bro," as a motivational video for their internal employees. Just think about it.
To me, it seems like they're way more concerned with their employees' well-being. With the culture within CD does not seem to be nearly as toxic as it was at Naughty Dog in any aspect. And it seems to me that these guys they did everything they could to avoid crunch time. They delayed their game 3 times to avoid crunch time, and now they're down where they have no other option. And they're even saying like 10% of our annual profits are allotted to bonuses for employees. Right. We only have just shy of 1,100 employees. They're all going to make fucking bank when our IP rises. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I mean, to me, it's to demonize it. You're just looking for something to be mad about. Just shut the fuck up.
That's my opinion on it. I feel like there's there's been so many scandals in the gaming community for the past 10 years or whatever, that anytime we see anything that isn't wrapped in a cute little package, we see it as a scandal.
We're looking at
this is. I don't see this. I don't see it as a scandal. First of all, in Poland, there are laws that prevent loopholes around paying overtime.
Right.
If you work overtime, you get paid overtime, period. So these people are going to get overtime pay right before Christmas. All right. Beautiful. That's beautiful shit right there. And as Scott was saying, is they all own stock in the company, which I think is only slated to go up. I don't think this is really the big deal that it's being made out to be. I think everybody wins because the developers win. They get extra money in their pocket. The consumers win because we get the game without another delay. And of course, the stockholders win because they met this deadline. I think it's win-win.
I wasn't 100. I was pretty sure, but I was not 100% sure when we first talked about this in our group chat that you guys were going to be on the same page as me. So I stopped talking because we like to listeners. We like to stop. We like to make sure we save our back and forths for the actual podcast. You're getting fresh.
We like to blue ball it.
Yeah, we like to hold it in.
Ooh, I've been holding this next one in for 3 days, man. It's a big boy.
We like to.
By the way, guys, before you go on, I feel like blue balls needs to be left in the past, and it should be called Cummy Ache.
Oh my my God, yes.
Blue balls. Leave it where it belongs.
Oh no.
We give ourselves
the title.
cummy
It's
aches.
gotta be. Yeah.
I don't know if I want to put cum in an episode title. I think I'm gonna stick with funeral fanfare. So I wasn't sure you guys were gonna be on the same page, but yeah, I mean, we're all at this point piling on a dead horse because you've both now gone over the same things. But like you said, Scott's still dying. One, it's a mandatory 6th day. They're not working longer hours. It's just an extra day in the week. So it's not like a lot of the bad crunch we've heard of is one, unpaid crunch time. People literally just saying you got to work on this game this many hours a day, longer than 8. Some of those are working like they were 16-hour days, like crazy shit in some of the stories we had heard previously. This is not that from what we can see. Like you said, they're getting fucking paid overtime for it. And the owner he said, look, I specifically said we were not going to crunch for this. And I take full responsibility for the fact that we're behind and that it is now our responsibility to do this so that we don't have to delay again. And I like you said, it's all reporting is valid. But in this instance, I think that headline was a little too much clickbait because the headlines were all blah, 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 this is bad. And while it is bad, it's nowhere near there. Everything has shades of gray. Nothing in this world is black and white. And this is a prime example of like, yeah, okay, it sucks that they have to do this, but the conditions are not what you guys are thinking.
Yeah. It's not ideal, but it's definitely not bad.
I agree.
I mean, like, again, like everything we've covered, these employees are treated like very well. And it's not a copycat of the Naughty Dog situation, which, you know, when you read into the details of that story, I would be outraged too. But the problem is with these clickbait articles, you have people reading the title and not reading all the fine print that literally says these guys have it fucking made. When they're done this game, a lot of them could probably fucking retire with what they own in stock in the company because this company is going to blow the fuck up. 520 million is their estimated value at the end of the year. So I'm not sure how much of that. I mean, I assume a lot of that's probably going to be from the new game, from
Absolutely.
Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah. And look, I mean, CD Projekt Red as a company has a lot of rope with me personally, a lot of goodwill because they have shown themselves time and again to be just a good company who cares about their fans and their employees a whole hell of a lot. So, you know, I mean, honestly, until this story, they were one of the poster childs of like a well-run studio that does not kill its employees and make high turnover rates. So, you know, I'm looking forward to it. But speaking of potentially bad situations, Jamie Foxx as Electro in a stunning move is going to be in the 3rd Spider-Man MCU installment. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I feel about this yet, other than the fact that it leads me to believe several theoretical things are happening in this new phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But Scott, because it is literally waiting to burst forth, go right ahead.
Yeah. Let me just.
Yeah, let it simmer. Let it simmer.
Yeah. This is that crock pot full of shit is what this is. And this is fucking. I could not think of a shittier way to low-key slip in a confirmation of multiverse theory into the MCU than this. You're gonna pick Jamie Foxx as Electro is the worst thing that's ever happened to any Spider-Man, including Uncle Ben dying. It's the fucking pinnacle of a great actor who's just handed piss poor material. They Edward Nygma'd him. They had him be this. They had him be this fucking like. I'm gonna send you a picture. All right, I'm gonna send you a picture. Remember Coach Klein? What was his name? Coach Klein from All That. When Kel would be like he was like the Fire Marshal Bill equivalent of All That. It's fucking dude. It's atrocious. It's the worst thing I've ever fucking seen, and I hate it. I'm gonna send you 2 pictures real quick. If you can throw them up in the John at any point, it would be very poignant.
Okay. I'll wait for said pictures. So while you're sending them, I will remind both you guys and chat that this is not necessarily confirmation of a multiverse, right? There's always the possibility, because he specifically said in his tweet he will not be blue this time, that they decided as a nod to the movies he was in that they're going to recast him as Electro in this one. There's a chance that it's not a confirmation of multiverse. Now, I don't know how much of a chance there is of that, but there's a chance. Derek, how'd you feel about it while I pull these up?
For the sake of my understanding, Spider-Man Into the Multiverse was Fox, and Spider-Man Far From Home and Homecoming were MCU, right?
I believe it's Sony and TriStar Pictures for Into the Multiverse.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a group company, because that's what I was confused about. Like, bringing Jamie Foxx live action into a multiverse concept in the MCU seemed like kind of a far stretch to me. Now, if they bring Into the Spider-Verse, which I thought was Fox, and I thought was excellent.
Right now? Are you looking at the pictures right now? Yeah, you are.
I'm not.
I'm waiting for Derek to finish. Go ahead.
Okay.
If it's done in a meaningful way that doesn't have like copyright infringement, they're like dodging fucking bullets the entire time, that could be really cool. That could be really fun. But I feel like Spider-Man is this like fucking battleground, dude. It's no man's land that like is constantly just being ripped and torn at. So I don't know. I'm excited to see what they can accomplish. I still don't know who they is. I don't know if it's the fucking Marvel or if it's Fox, but
Kevin Feige's been working very closely with Sony Pictures to incorporate, because they both own the rights to the properties of Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Like
Disney it's Sony okay.
Yeah. Disney made the deal with Sony so they could use Tom Holland's Spider-Man in the MCU. They brought him in Avengers, Captain America: Civil War, and he's been I believe in 6.
Oh, right, the only reason anybody enjoyed that movie.
I mean, Paul Rudd's a national treasure. That movie. Yeah, really. But it's I don't know if you want to pull these images up, man. Like, you couldn't have picked a worse fucking villain. If Willem Dafoe was announced, I would have been doing fucking backflips. I would have been so fucking excited. Yeah.
I made sure I pulled them up side by side for you, so we can just get
look at this shit. One Google search tells you this is a bad idea. I don't care if it's a reiteration of Jamie Foxx as this Edward Nygma fucking Electro bullshit. We're like he's such a socially awkward guy, but he just so happens to fall into a tank of electric eels, and instead of being murdered, he become like what?
You know what I thought was an especially douchey touch was the fucking comb over.
Yeah. I hate it so much. I hate it so much.
It's the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Can you zoom in on Coach Klein's face so he looks like he's part of this podcast with us? You zoom in.
Well, not really.
I mean, it works. There we go. There he is.
Oh, Jesus.
Jamie, do you have any thoughts on being recast in the MCU? It is the worst way. Like, if you're gonna go multiverse, man, we get it. Like, you have Multiverse of Madness in the title for the new Doctor Strange movie. You don't have to tiptoe around it. But if you want to incorporate, like, I don't want to see Tobey Maguire. I don't want to see Tobey Maguire.
I do want to see Tobey Maguire. What are you talking about? I don't want to see the other iterations of Spider-Man in the MCU. I don't want to see that door open, because then it gets sloppy. Then you have to acknowledge Venom as part of the MCU canon. And then the shitty Mobius movie that's coming out. You gotta get.
And whatever Black Cat and Silver Sable horseshit they try to shove in our faces and make us pretend is good. It's just like Sony just needs to suck it the fuck up and let Disney buy the property, and then let them at least attempt to make like a well-rounded movie with all these properties, if it's even possible.
I like this situation of Scott giving a legitimate conversation while Derek and I literally cry.
No. I'm going to talk directly to Jamie now, okay?
Audio listeners, I'm so sorry that you can't see this.
No. Fuck you guys. Check it out on YouTube.
I was going to say, this will be up on YouTube, and right now we're at the 1 hour, 20 minute mark. If you want to just go on there and jump forward to see the spectacle. This is our first guest. It's really nice to have you here, Jamie.
Now, Jamie, you've graced the screen with your presence in such incredible motion pictures like Django Unchained. I mean, God, Baby Driver, you were incredible. Riveting, even like just visceral and terrifying. Motherfucker Jones, even Motherfucker Jones and Horrible Bosses.
He was Motherfucker Jones.
What an unexpected comedic delight you were in that feature film. When you heard about this flaming piece of shit that's barely being strung together with some kind of convoluted multiverse narrative, what was your first thought?
Strong silent type, I'd say.
Yeah.
All right, no big deal.
Yeah, all right.
Nah, we're a little shy 2 years. Sometimes. No big deal.
It's just like, again, you could have chosen Defoe. You know what I mean? You could have. I don't know. I would have taken Topher Grace over fucking like Jamie Foxx's Electro, if I'm being honest. I would have taken anything over Jamie Foxx's Electro because it's really, really. He was the worst thing about that movie and a lot of things.
It was so bad. Imagine taking a fucking A-list actor, a fucking triple A-list actor, and just reducing him to a fucking bumbling idiot. Fucking nerd.
Like, bro, you were in Ray. How the fuck did you read that script and be like, this is the next step? I mean, this is what I got to do.
I really don't want to get into bashing the Amazing Spider-Man 2, but like he also got his powers from a tank of fucking eels.
What?
A tank of eels?
There's a reason those franchises ended. Is all I'm gonna say. Like Spider-Man 3 was a box office flop, and it was I think it's widely acknowledged that it was just a piece of shit.
Yeah, but we also got the emo Peter Parker, and those are memes for decades.
Yeah,
I mean,
it gave us memes. I'm not mad that we got the memes.
If I could just give back the memes to the universe, and then get Sam Raimi's actual artistic vision for Spider-Man 3 instead of what they forced him to do by throwing Venom in, I would take that reality over this one, if I'm being honest. We may not be on the darkest timeline, y'all, but we're definitely on the fucking dumbest. And this confirms it.
Yeah.
This confirms it, and I hate it. I hate it so much that, like...
just keep randomly looking at the picture.
Me too. It's really distracting.
I hate it so fucking much, guys, and I can't even articulate it. Like, I start to talk about it, and then my face gets flush, and it's not good. It's not... Spider-Man ended because... The Spider-Man Sam Raimi trilogy ended on a severe downswing. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was so bad that they scrapped what they had in mind for the rest of the trilogy. It didn't even get a third entry. I don't even think they allowed them to finish penning a script for the third one. You know what I mean? Like, it's just those franchises those particular iterations of this franchise didn't work out for a reason. We don't need to bring them into something that's already has Derek, I know. It has success. It has
tried to cut you off before you even got to say anything.
Yeah, he did. I opened my mouth. He's like, Derek, I know.
No, but it's like don't fuck with a good thing. You know what I mean, it's like right now we're for the most part we're all enjoying Peter Parker Spider-Man, the Tom Holland iteration. If this is the well, maybe you're not. You don't. Okay, you don't enjoy most things I enjoy, so I take that with a grain of salt. But to me, it's like if Tom Holland's drunken sobbing phone call with Kevin Feige and the head of Sony resulted in this, I would have rather had no more Spider-Man. I'm gonna be honest. If this is gonna be what we get. This is Fonzie jumping the shark of the MCU to me. If we end up with all these other messy, sloppy, versions of Spider-Man that are dead for a fucking reason, just coming back, and villains who have been killed off canonically coming back, like what do we spend all this time building up the Sinister Six for? All these little hints, all these little subtle nods to the Sinister Six. Why are we building that up to throw it in the trash and do something that's way worse?
See, you're exactly where I was upon watching Spider-Man 3. In which you said yourself was too many things at one time.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 3 was where it should have ended. It should have ended at 2.
I agree.
Incredible. Oh God. Oh, hey.
So
hey,
sorry.
Welcome back.
No, we're good.
Yeah. Jamie, you're Jamie.
Jamie, pull that shit up.
Jesus. I can't. I have been so distracted with that fucking picture that I have done.
Yeah, get it out, please.
Jamie, I can't. I think we lost video on Jamie. He's not moving.
Well, it's actually, I'm getting word from his publicist that he's got another engagement to go to. So thanks for being here, Jamie. We really all appreciate it from the Cynical Nerd.
We love you.
Being the first official guest, it's just been an honor to have you. And
excellent.
I'm hoping you'll come back when the eventual dumpster fire of a movie that you're going to be in is comes out. So everybody say bye to Jamie.
Love you, James.
Yeah. Appreciate you, bud. What a nice guy. You always are afraid to meet the people that you idolize, but sometimes they
always tell you not to meet your heroes. And in this case, I think they were wrong.
Yeah. I should have gotten to say I like the way you die line for me though. I would have been over the fucking moon.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be that guy. You know what I mean? Like I didn't want to.
I mean, I think his publicist left me a note that he had laryngitis. It might explain his lack of communicative skills with us. Even really, I mean, blinking was a weird one. But
does he look shorter to you?
He looks short.
He's a little smaller, less hair.
Less hair. I don't know. Let's see. I don't necessarily think that doing a multiverse Spider-Man thing means it'll be garbage, right? But then again, I'm Mr. Benefit of the Doubt. But I was just cool with them bringing back J. Jonah Jameson. Like I was cool with that. Just have a movie and bring him back. That's all I fucking wanted. I think what's happening is they see the really good reception to Into the Spider-Verse and are mistakenly thinking what was so captivating about that film was the fact that there were multiple Spider-Mans, which is not true. The captivating thing about that was it was a really well-written film that had wonderful animation. Like, that
incredible. And music. Oh, the score is incredible. Jesus Christ.
It's a perfect movie, honestly.
It's a really I've watched it several times and it does not get worse. It only gets fucking better. It's a fantastic film. I love Miles Morales as a character. I fell in love with him. We've talked about it, I think, first podcast, but the ultimate arc of him was really wonderful. And then in the game, they did him justice. And the movie was I was just like, oh, another top-notch fucking piece of content.
Yeah.
But that's actually our last topic for the day. So unless Derek or you have any final thoughts about this news, whatever you want to call it,
I had one, but I lost it.
Okay,
somewhere. Yeah, I might find it. But I don't know.
I'd like to talk about com power.
Nope. I'm good with not doing that.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about com power.
Okay,
I'm certain you guys are familiar.
I'm still stuck on Cummy Ache, bro. I'm still stuck on Cummy Ache.
I'm certain you guys are familiar with hysterical strength. You have like people who, in the moment of extreme emotion,
right,
find strength to. You had a woman in Russia who fought off a fucking bear for like 8 minutes to save her sons.
Right, they lift a car if someone's in danger. Yeah, we've heard
right. So, cum power is the moment when you're about to come that you can do anything that you want to. You can fly.
But you don't.
Because you're too busy coming. That's cum power, baby. It's not a power at all.
It's a double-edged sword, cum power.
You know what cum power does for me? It helps clear my sinuses when I'm stuffed up.
We had this conversation off of everything.
Cum power gets a little more menial, but it's there. You got cum power.
See, I thought you were gonna go the opposite direction. Like if you're too tired and you come, it wakes you up. If you're hungover and you come, it brings you back to life. I thought you were gonna say that like that the secret to longevity and health and happiness is in the cum.
That's exactly where it is.
Yeah, but we still haven't.
It's really in the moment before you cum, though. That's where you have the cum power. Once you let it out, you've lost all your cum power.
And with that, I think the podcast is officially over, and not just for this episode, but for all time.
Well, actually, we do need people to kind of email in. We need somebody to get in on this cum versus coom debate.
Yeah, it's an important one.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Tom Hanks. He has an incredible body of work.
I am,
but Tom Hanks cannot come because they are dead.
Can't come when they're dead.
This is devolving. I'm cutting both of you off.
He's been stripped of all cum power because they're dead. Give Tupac back his cum power. We all need cum power.
Second episode of the Cynical Nerd out, you can officially find us on all major podcasting platforms. Hey. We're now up on Apple, Google, Spotify. Maybe not iHeartRadio yet, but if you use iHeartRadio exclusively, I don't know what kind of person.
I don't fuck with you.
I don't know what kind of person you are. Maybe
you have zero cum power.
Yeah, no pull-out game for you.
Yeah.
So all the major platforms. If you want to email us in, if you have a question or a comment, if you want to chime in on the cum debate, it's questions@thecynicalnerd.com.
It's cum.
You can check us out at facebook.com/thecynicalnerd. And we're going to put this video up on our YouTube channel, and you can check out all the super fun visual stuff that you didn't get a chance to listen to in the audio. All you heard was Derek and I crying while Scott gave a very detailed explanation. I'm going to have to listen to that just to know what you said because I was laughing so hard.
I got to be honest, man. All those things have been bouncing around my head. Like that scene in Men in Black where Will Smith touches the little ball and it just breaks everything.
Right.
It's been destroying my entire emotional fabric this entire 4 days since you showed me that link.
Okay.
And I feel like I wish we would have sat down and recorded that instantaneously because a lot of the hate dissipated. You know what I mean? It wore away at my happiness, my well-being, my general health, mental and physical. I chain smoked half a pack of cigarettes after I read that. It was not good.
So, Scott really suffered for everybody.
Yeah. I hope you guys appreciate it.
Pretty top shelf, if you ask me.
He had a real cummy ache with those thoughts, if you will. To bring it back. So,
got him.
My name is Chris. You can find me at stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/TCNplays. All the socials at TCN Plays. Scott, how about you?
You can find me on twitch.tv/swearwolf with an E. That is SWEARWOLFE. And we'll be doing VR and horror streams all month long. Come hang out.
Very nice.
And my name is Derek. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Dr. Gary Loom, MD, which is not Gary at all, just Dr. Gloom, MD, at Twitch or Twitter, whichever is your preference.
I like how your voice got real sexy there, but also you confused the fuck out of everybody who's trying to search you.
Yeah. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah.
Everything's weird out here.
You need to make a Gary Loom Twitch as well, though, and then have them both.
Yeah. Right. As like a backup.
As
like a fucking fishnet. Like, ooh, if you came here, I gave you the wrong name. Go to this one.
Well, no, but you have to just have slobs and then regular OBS and stream to both the exact same thing at the exact same time.
I agree with that.
You stream.
That's a fantastic idea. You should do it.
That's a good, yeah.
This has been episode 2 of The Cynical Nerd. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for coming by.
Thanks, gang.
See
you next time.